Happy Hump Day, girls! I hope you have all had a wonderful start to your week, that you are feeling amazing after completing your workouts, drinking Shakeology each day, reading something or listening to something positive on your way to and from work, and then in any of those cracks of the day that you can, as well as just enjoying reaching out to your accountability partner, reading what some of the other girls are sharing, seeing their evening check-ins, all that great stuff. So the biggest thing is every single Wednesday, I would love to host a live video. This week, just with it being the first week, and I know personally I have a lot of big goals, and I'm working very hard on nailing this portion control system and lifestyle. And so for me personally right now, I am following these containers my very, very best. I am completely cutting out alcohol again this month. Again, probably going to let myself have 1 or 2 drinks throughout the entire month, just with Halloween being then. But more or less, really just dialing in on whole food nutrition and being aware of how I feel. Guys, I'm not a clean-ish eater. I've been very, very open about that, but I am a fit-ish eater. So what that means is I am thinking about what kind of ingredients are in my food. Okay, that does not mean that I am analyzing and overanalyzing every sugar, sodium, and fat that I consume. But with that being said, my biggest tips are to, 1, completely avoid fast food. Eating out at a sit-down restaurant is very different than driving through a fast food restaurant. That is one thing that if you take anything away from this, we are a culture of instant gratification, but guys, of all the things that you can be instantly gratified with, that is not the thing, okay? If you crave, like truly crave fast food, that just means that your body and your mind, our brains can become very addicted to sugar. All right, and I know that you're thinking, oh, well, it's a burger, it's French fries. It's all sugar. That is actually what is in all of that stuff, okay? Your body is addicted to sugar. It is not addicted to salt or sodium or anything like that. You might like the flavor of that, but your body's actually addicted to sugar, and that's why you keep coming back to those empty foods, right? So I encourage you to be very aware of what parts of the day do you find yourself being more hungry, all right? So one of the things that I really like to do is I have Shakeology about an hour and a half prior to breakfast or whatever meal I'm going to be having next. Shakeology is not a meal replacement shake. It's not a protein shake, but it is going to fill your body up with all of the nutrients and all of the minerals that you needed, that you depleted during your workout, and just that you need to function at full capacity, have mental clarity, complete digestion, and things like that throughout your day. So for me personally, I know Shakeology is the healthiest meal of my day. So I try to have that about an hour and a half before I have something else. So what happens is Shakeology keeps me pretty full. So the fact that I'm eating within an hour and a half to 2 hours after that, I am now extending that hunger or that satisfaction, 5 hours at that point. All right. So first thing I want you to think about is, where do you find that you are crashing throughout your day and that you're kind of reaching for less than filling foods, less than healthy foods. And at that time of the day, that's when I would encourage you to start supplementing your Shakeology. Okay? I know some people even split 1 scoop up, half in the morning, half in the afternoon, just to kind of balance that sugar reduction or decreasing that sugar craving, I guess you could call it. So just being aware, that's definitely tip number 1. Number 2 is balancing your yellow containers throughout the day. Guys, that's your carb, okay? What's nice is that the Portion Fix divides carbs up into 3 categories: grains, fruits, and veggies, okay? And because of that, you don't necessarily need to be eating that yellow container on a day-to-day basis, because you're still going to get a carb through the fruit and vegetables. But we are a society that is built around enriched wheat and enriched unbleached flour and things like that, right? And so that is not a whole grain food, but that's typically what we think of in this generation when we think of carb. Okay, so the whole idea behind your yellow container is not to just fill that up with granola bars. Guys, it's just chocolate sugar sticks. Believe me, I can be addicted to them too. My top 3 favorite ones, though, if you are having a hard time kind of avoiding the whole bar lifestyle, the RX bars are great. I also like Lara bars because they're only 5 ingredients or less. And Kind bars are really great too. Those would be my top 3. Your yellow container should be more thought of about being like lentils, so beans, or whole grains as far as whole wheat waffles or whole wheat pancakes or whole wheat English muffin, something along those lines. When it's a whole wheat, that means that your body notices that as a complex carb, which means it will break it down. When it's a simple carb, that means it's just sugar, and that is released into your bloodstream immediately because it's quick to break down because there's no nutrients in it. Your body doesn't need to take a while to break that down. So what happens is now your body and your veins and your cells are now just filled with sugar. That's exactly what's just been released as sugar. So then you get this big boost of energy, but then it crashes. All right. The nice thing about eating complex carbs like sweet potatoes, yams, whole wheat pasta, any form of beans and quinoa, whole grain rice and things like that, is that it takes a little while for your body to break that stuff down. Hence why you feel fuller longer once you eat those foods. So just be aware of when you are crashing throughout the day, when you're reaching for things like that, so that you can balance those carbs throughout the day. I know a lot of times I see often we will avoid certain food groups throughout the day, and then what happens is you end up binge eating on that later at night. Break that cycle, okay? Don't restrict yourself, just balance it out. So I'm really excited. We are going to talk a little bit more about meal planning. I'm just going to kind of open this for questions. I don't really have a set plan for this, just more so here to answer any of your questions for those of you who are really trying to follow this straight through, that you want to be strict with it. Strict in the sense of giving this 100%, okay? If you are more so here just to focus on the fitness side of things right now, that's totally cool too. Remember, this is your journey. Don't compare your goals to somebody else's. But some of you have expressed wanting to lose around 12 to 15 pounds in about a 30 to 40 day period. So guys, I really do encourage you to use those portion containers. Make sure that you're drinking Shakeology every day. And the biggest things are just cutting out processed packaged foods, limiting the nights that you're going out to eat, as well as drinking alcohol, and just asking yourself, what do you really want? What do you want versus what do you want right now? And in that moment, whenever I'm faced with temptation, I truly sit there and I ask myself, is this worth it? Is this worth it? Because I've been waking up early, I get on these 5 a.m. Tribe Talks, I'm reading something positive, I'm working out every day, I'm choosing positive thoughts over the sometimes bullcrap that tries to pop into my head. Is this bite of food, or is this ice cream cone, or is this fried mozzarella appetizer, is this worth undoing all that I've worked for? And I know that sometimes people will sit there and say, oh, well, it's your one life, I never say no to stuff like that. That's what leads to obsessive behaviors. That's not true. Coming from somebody that has a 5-year eating or had a 5-year eating disorder, that is not what I mean by this, okay? The truth is that we live in a day and age where people are justifying why we're eating certain types of foods. When in reality, I know what mozzarella sticks taste like because I've had them 1,000 times. To order them every single time I go out, that is not trying to just live life and enjoy it. That is just habit, and I can break that habit, all right? So just really think to yourself, what do you want long-term versus what do you want right now? Do your best to continue showing up to the group, making sure that you're tracking your points in the accountability chart. And I'm really excited to hear what you guys have to say about one thing that you loved about yourself today. So with it being Women Crush Wednesday, please tag your partner below, as well as tag one person that you see showing up in this group that you haven't quite talked to yet or you don't know personally, just to say, hey, I see you, you're showing up, great job, keep kicking butt. All right? Hope you guys are having a great night, and I can't wait to see you tonight at 7. Love you. Bye.